live zipper demonstration. So let me pull some of my zippers over here. But anyway, I get a lot of questions regarding zippers for specific patterns. So the questions are usually if people want to use a different type of zipper, if they can swap it out. So let me start off. First of all, some of my patterns I specify a certain zipper in the pattern, and that's usually a very strong recommendation to use that zipper, and I usually have my reasons. So when I ask for a certain zipper, usually it's because that size of zipper, and by that I mean the width of that particular zipper, will fit exactly in the project. Sometimes it's for ease of sewing, so perhaps a specific zipper will be easier to sew than another one. If I don't specify in the pattern, that generally means that it's okay to use whatever zipper your heart desires. But let me walk you through a few of these zippers, tell you about them, anything special that you need to know about them. But here's the first one. This is a number 3, also known as a dress/skirt zipper. This one has the smaller pull, and the zipper tape is about 7/8 of an inch wide. So I use these in some specific patterns like the Annex double zip box pouch pattern, the filigree double zip pouch pattern. And when I specify to use this certain zipper, it's because the project is put together using this and it'll fit exactly. So that's the number 3 dress skirt zipper. A handbag zipper is also another common one for bag making. So handbag zippers usually have the larger pull. The zipper tape is usually about 1.25 inches wide, and sometimes they even have 2 pulls, like this one. So this one's got 2 pulls. These pulls are already on the tape. It comes like this. Sometimes people think that if they see one of my projects, like the Crimson and Clover train cases with the 2 pulls, that I put that extra pull on there. I sell handbag zippers in my online shop with the 2 pulls already on them. So that's a handbag zipper. That's another type of zipper. This is not really used for bag making, but I wanted to show it anyway because I occasionally get a question, people asking about an invisible zipper. So an invisible zipper, if you're not familiar, usually used for dresses or skirts, but it's invisible because when the zipper is sewn in, you can only see that pull. So you don't see the tape or the teeth, just the pull. I've never used it for a bag. I'm not sure that I would, but I just wanted to show you that zipper just so you're familiar with what it looks like. I've got another zipper. This is also known as a sport zipper. So when I first started making bags, I loved using sport zippers, but now I think I would steer clear of them. Sport zippers usually have the chunky plastic teeth. The tape is usually wider, similar to the handbag zipper with the 1.25 inch wide tape. And it's got usually this big zipper head with the bigger pull. So the reason that I would stay clear from this zipper, and lately I've been getting a few comments also in my Facebook group about this particular zipper. So for a project such as this one, so this is my Creative Maker supply case, and as you can see, it's got the zipper that wraps around most of the case. But anyway, using a sports zipper in a project like this where you have to go around turns like this is very difficult. Not impossible, but it gets really trying when you have to pin this wide zipper tape and maneuver around these chunky zipper teeth. So especially for projects with a curve like this one, I would stay clear of a sport zipper or something with chunky plastic teeth like this. All right. There's also zippers with metal teeth, which I'll talk about more in 1 second, but I also wanted to show you about trimming a zipper, how to do that. So when I work with zippers, some of my patterns call for trimming a zipper to an exact length. And so that length is from where you would cut the zipper to the other end of the cut zipper. So the reason that I like to cut zippers, and let me show you on the number 3 zipper also, I like to avoid the beginning of the zipper because it's sort of got like this gap over here. And I also like to avoid the end of the zipper because it's got this metal stop that will break a needle unless you remove it. So sewing near this or on top of that will break a needle. So when I'm measuring to cut a zipper, I always like to measure the middle of the zipper so I can avoid those 2 areas. So let me show you how I would trim a zipper. So first I have this handbag zipper that I already measured and marked 17 inches for what I was going to cut this for a project for. And so I would mark directly on the zipper tape 17 inches. So this is where the 17 inches starts. And this is where the 17 inches is going to end. So what I do, since the zipper is going to be cut, I always like to create a new zipper stop with thread. And so to do that, I stitched, as you can see with this pink thread, I stitched back and forth a few times. It's called a bar tack, and that creates a new stop. So when you cut it, then you can't unzip the zipper head off the tape because that will create some headaches for you. So after that new stop is made, then it's okay to go and cut that zipper at that marking that you made for, in my case, the exact 17 inches. And same thing on the other end, cutting it. Depending on what your seam allowance is, you might be able to stitch a little bit farther away from the mark. So if you're using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, here I stitched 1/4 inch away from where I was going to cut. And over here for a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I would stitch a little closer. So this is 1/8 inch. And as you can see with that new stop, then you can't accidentally unzip the zipper off the tape, which saves you a lot of headaches because it's, I certainly don't like putting the zipper head back on the tape after I've unzipped it off. Okay, so back to that metal zipper that I showed you earlier. Oftentimes when you're using a metal zipper, you don't want to be sewing over the teeth, or else you should hand crank when sewing over the teeth. But there's an easy way to remove some of these metal teeth, so you can perhaps fold the tape over so you don't have extra teeth over here. Let me fold this one over so you wouldn't want to be sewing over those teeth. So to remove some of the teeth, I have a side cutter, and this is just a regular size side cutter. You can find this at the craft store where the jewelry making supplies are, and this is what the package looks like from the one I purchased. This one I purchased from Michaels, and the brand is Bead Landing, but any brand would be okay. But this is the side cutter, and what you do is you just bring the edge of the side cutter up to the teeth, and it just sort of clips the teeth off. So let me see if I can get one of these teeth to come off over here. Of course, I pulled off a bunch of teeth before we started, and now because I'm on camera, I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm probably not going to be, let's see if I can get it off. Yeah, there we go. So you kind of just scrunch it with the side cutter, and then the tooth, the metal tooth pops off. Yeah, there we go. I think I sort of messed that one up. All right, there you go. So I got that tooth off, and you can go ahead and remove as many teeth as you need. I also recommend using a bit of fray check on this end over here, just so your zipper tape doesn't start to unravel. But anyway, the side cutter is pretty helpful. Again, this is what it looks like, and this is for removing the metal teeth. So that's just a few going over zippers and a few questions that I commonly get in my Facebook group or via email about zippers. But let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer some of the questions. I'll see what's been coming through